Hey, what do you do when you're 6 months into building a business and things stop looking rosy? You celebrate all the positives, remind yourself of why you do what you do, and you throw yourself to the sharks.
Well, I said, welcome to a small business marketing show where successful small business owners share their souls to take your marketing straight to the lead. Now, here's your host, Mr. Timbo Reid.
And welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Australia's #1 marketing show. I'm your host, Timbo Reid, coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. But you, so much more importantly, you're a motivated business owner and you are ready to crank out some great marketing. That's exactly what we do around here, team. Thanks for joining me again. If it's your 100th show, maybe it's your 200th show. I don't know. Thanks for coming back for more marketing punishment. If you're new, welcome. Stick with us. You will discover that marketing is the way to business nirvana. It's a way to build your business into the baby. Well, it's actually more a way of building that baby into the business it deserves to be. You with me? Hey, listen, big show today. Joined by Kate Johansson. She's the founder of the breakfast and salad toppers business. Yeah, toppers. Hey, there's a new category called KOJA. I help out a listener with some ideas on how to provide good content in a market that speaks his second language. Interesting. And I got a motivational marketing quote all about the joy of running your own business and what an absolute joy that is. Now, today's show lovingly brought to you by the very good folk at Net Registry. They get your online marketing sorted, guys. That's what they do. And we all need a bit of online marketing sorted, you know what I mean? They've got exclusive listener packages over at netregistry.com.au/Timbo, including a very good SEO booster package in which they drop the setup fee just for you, the listener. And we're also brought to you by 99 Designs, the world's largest graphic design marketplace where designers from everywhere, all over the world, compete to give you a design you will love in 7 days, guaranteed. Yeah, and here's a $99 free upgrade just for you over at 99designs.com/Timbo. Hey, as per usual, there is marketing GOLD dripping from the ceiling over here at the Small Business Big Marketing HQ. So let's get stuck right in.
Do you need a speaker for your next conference? Recommend Timbo to your event organiser. Or better still, book him. Tim Reid, that's reid.com.au.
And by stuck in, I mean let's launch into today's fireside chat with a lovely lady by the name of Kate Johansson. She has a business called KOJA. KOJA.com.au is where you'll find her. Now, up until a couple of years ago, Kate was in a comfy corporate job providing nutritional advice to elite sportsmen. So, yes, she is a cubicle escapee and loving it, let me tell you. In 2014, she did launch KOJA, which is a premium range of superfood mixes. You can buy it online and in health food stores all around the country. In this chat, we talk about the power of branding. Kate has got a wonderful looking brand. We talk about storytelling. We talk about what she learnt from appearing on Shark Tank and some of the amazing things that resulted and plenty more. Now, I'm a little bit cheeky here. I started off by asking Kate if she'd be up for a game of truth or dare. You up for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Careful.
No,
Now, you've either got to have...
I'm always going to say yes.
To what?
To at least the challenge of truth or dare.
Love it. Righto. That's fair enough. Now, you've either got to have a large Big Mac meal with Coke and fries for lunch today or collect the male topless from your letterbox. What'll it be?
I would definitely collect the male topless from my letterbox. There's no way I would eat McDonald's.
Wow.
And I'm not just saying that, I'm honestly... I live in an apartment building. I wouldn't even have to go outside.
Oh, I love it. There's passion right there. Hey? You are that anti that whole kind of industry, yeah?
Oh, my skin starts to, I feel uncomfortable thinking about eating a Big Mac meal, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So in walks KOJA.
Yeah.
Where'd the idea for KOJA come from?
It was very much a personal journey. I had been working in the supplement industry, surrounded by, really fit, healthy athletes at one of the big football clubs here in Melbourne, working on their nutrition plans, working on the type of supplements that they need in their diet to, achieve that top 1% or that 1% edge that nutrition can give, or nutritional supplements can give athletes. Mm-hmm. I'd also personally changed my diet. I was, I'd recently got married, and I think as every bride does, we try and look our very best on the day. And so then after that, I was trying to find some sort of balance in the way that I ate personally. And all of those things sort of came together. I've always wanted to eat a very natural diet.
So Kate, when you said you're working in the supplements industry, were you suggesting you were working in the dark side, or that was a positive thing?
No, it was a positive thing for me, definitely.
Right. Because would you say KOJA's a supplement?
I call it real food supplements.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the vibe we're going for. It's completely natural, but if you go from eating a very regular standard Australian diet to including KOJA in your day, the amount of vitamins and minerals that we have in our products, so many people come back to me and say, I've never felt this good, I've got more energy, I've got better skin, I've got better digestion, I'm waking up in a better mood, and, that's what people take supplements to try to achieve. So if you can get some food, why not?
So you're working in this footy club. Love to know which one, but I know you're not going to say, are you? Hey?
I can say it was the Carlton Football Club.
Oh, hey?
At least it was Essendon, right?
At least it wasn't Essendon, yeah. Overseas listeners won't understand that, but we won't even go there. But, so you're working at it, you're having a good time, you've got a good job, safe job, happy days.
Yeah.
Where was that little turning point where you've gone, I have to go and create something and run my own business?
Well, the role that I had within Carlton was kind of removed from the football club. It was with a group, very closely linked to the football club, but it was actually a supplement company. Mm-hmm. So I was working in this, small business, hopefully fast growth, entrepreneurial space, knowing that I loved it, knowing that I really enjoyed the challenge of, not knowing what to do next and having to work it all out. Mm-hmm. My role there really turned to sales and marketing, and I believe that it's really difficult to sell something or to market something that you don't believe in. So customers, the customers were coming to me saying, do you prefer chocolate or vanilla? And I was like, I wouldn't eat either one of those flavors. I'm so sorry. I mean, obviously I couldn't say that, but I just knew that it wasn't right for me, and I couldn't sell something that I didn't believe in and that I wouldn't eat myself. And so many people, I could relate to our customers because they were sort of coming to me and saying, I'm really motivated to get fit and healthy. I really want to make a change. What kind of supplements should I be taking? And my first gut instinct was, hang on, let's go back a step. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? How much activity do you do? How many vegetables are in your diet? Do you sleep well? I'm more about the fundamentals of health rather than, let's take a quick pill and hope that...
But having that belief, having that passion is one thing. You must have gone at some point, you must have seen a gap in the market. I don't know, did you create this thing called salad and breakfast toppers? I haven't heard of the word toppers before, but I don't really live in that space. In fact, my Big Mac's just arrived. Hang on, just put it in the microwave. Sorry, Kate, I'm back.
I told you how uncomfortable I get when anyone talks about McDonald's.
No, it's not a Big Mac, it's a Whopper. Silly. But, I'm where did that point come from where you've gone, well, I'm going to invent a thing called KOJA and I'm going to have my own business. Big leap.
I think in terms of proving the market, it was a few years ago, and we'd just seen Swiss, the Australian vitamin company, absolutely take over. Yeah. They were just growing at extraordinary rates and they were everywhere, and there were so many other brands that were following them and trying to be as successful as Swiss. They were just everywhere, and you'd go into a pharmacy or, you know, sort of anywhere you'd look, there would be these Swiss multivitamins or, you know, a little bottle of pills that was apparently going to fix anything. And being in that industry,
Are you getting angrier and angrier at this stage? I don't think you get angry actually, but you know, like, is this pent up thing happening in you where you're just going, oh, I've got to do something? Yeah,
certainly. I think you know, just not understanding that every individual wants to have, you know, good health, but seeing these huge companies absolutely brainwashing us to believe that you can find health in one pill. It's just, health is so much more than that. It's so holistic. It's so much more to do with, you know, the food that you eat and the thoughts in your mind and your attitude and your lifestyle. And you can't expect that taking one pill in the morning is going to mean that you've got all the vitamins.
But aren't you doing that with KOJA, saying take one salad topper?
Not at all. Our brand and my philosophy behind the company is that we are a space where people can come together, and if you believe that we should be eating real food and that we should be getting our nutrition from real food, then these products will support that. So I don't say just eat KOJA and eat everything else. That's the way that toppers came about. It's about adding toppers to the foods that you're already eating. So we've got loads of recipes where you can make, you know, a really beautiful smoothie with lots of fruit and veg and then add KOJA to it.
Could I put KOJA on my Big Mac?
It would probably
be better than not, surely.
Look, if you took off the bun, like if you took off the bun and put the top of the bun in the bin and then flipped it over and then got the bottom of the bun and put that in the bin, and then, you know, that thing that I think they call it meat.
Yes, the patty, the all beef patty.
Throw that out the window. Yeah. You're left with like some soggy lettuce and some sugary mayonnaise.
Kate, I think we might have found a little sub-niche for KOJA here of those who are into junk food, are trying to make the breakaway. It'll be like kind of like a little segue. Instead of going cold turkey, you can just, anyway. We're giving Macca's far too much coverage on this episode. So listen, so KOJA, you got the idea, getting it to market. How was the first 6 months?
The first 6 months was really fun. It was that phase of the business, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners can probably relate, but it's where everything's really fun. You know, you're finally realising your dream of running your own business, and I had a lot of support from friends and family that just kept wanting more and more of my products. And
you got a newborn baby. Everyone's oogling over it.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things I invested in early on was this beautiful brand that I have. So beautiful packaging, you know, beautiful website, beautiful logo, all these things that were so easy to carry across.
Let's talk about that, because one thing that caught my attention in inviting you on the show is your branding. I mean, you have really done a wonderful job with it. It is beautiful. It stands out. And not enough businesses spend time on this. You know, I bang on. One of my sponsors is 99 Designs, who do this kind of work, and it's like it's important. And clearly for you, it was mission critical.
Yeah, definitely. I know, especially in my industry, you know, the food industry is low barriers to entry, and anyone can come along, and also we have to put exactly what's in our products on the box. So if someone wants to come along and copy what you're doing, they very easily can. So I knew that I had to, if I was going to survive in this industry, I had to create a brand and be more than just the pretty logo. You know, that's like what we touched on just a moment ago about how I believe that KOJA is not just the products. It's, you know, it's a brand. We're creating like a space where if you believe what we believe, I hope that you want to engage with us. And
well, that's clearly down the track. It sounds like, and we can talk about that, like you're going to go beyond product, and maybe you're going to build some kind of community, tribe, events. Hold that thought. But just in terms of getting that brand, the visual identity, like let's talk just superficially about the visual brand. How did you do this? Have you got a creative design skill? Did you get an agency? What did you do?
I have a very good friend. He works at Flux Agency and his name's Adam. We had worked together on business projects before and shared that similar sort of creative entrepreneurial flair.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really the first person that I went to with the idea of KOJA. I think we were just, sitting over coffee one day and I was like, hey, I've got the next business idea. We'd already worked on projects and I was like, this one, I think this could be a good one. And, so I started telling him about it and the next week we'd sort of he, said, I think this is a good idea, and pretty quickly we'd come together with a brand. We have a very similar view on opinion on what looks good and things like that. So, but he's the one with all the design.
So it's pretty informal in the sense that he knew you knew his style. There wasn't some kind of formal creative briefing process, but he kind of came back to you with some scribbles and you developed it up, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. And what I've noticed, Kate, is that it's transferred across into other marketing touch points. Everything's on brand. When I'm on the KOJA website, when I'm looking at a KOJA packaging, when I'm watching a KOJA video, there's just a wonderful consistency. Your videos are beautiful. So is that, they tell a great story. So is that Adam doing that, or is that another company who's picked up where Adam left off?
That's another company.
Okay.
But I've been hands-on with the video. So I think what I'm trying to do with the brand is be really honest about who we are. And so hopefully...
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is there's so many big companies in this industry, and I'm not one of them, and I'm not sure I ever will be, but I mean, even if we're hugely successful, I'd still like to maintain that vibe of being small and authentic. And I think I'm just trying to, as much as possible, be really open and honest with everyone that comes into contact with KOJA. It's about putting my name on the back of the box. It's about, even the name itself was developed through playing with some of my initials. So whilst I don't really, push that out there, for me personally, it's about creating a product and a company that, to me, has got my name on it. Yeah,
okay, nice. Well, here's the challenge, Kate. I was wondering where the name came from, by the way, so I like that. You want to remain small and authentic. The phone's going in the background. It's Coles and Woolworths both wanting to stock you through every store throughout Australia.
Yeah.
And what do you say to that?
It's actually happened a few months ago.
No.
We did get a call from a Coles buyer, and I'm not ready. I believe that the space for KOJA at the moment is with the independents. You hear all the horror stories about working with Coles and Woolworths, and I think it would be suicide if we went ahead with that at the moment.
Mate, that is just so brave. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, brave, and I get it. Many people would go, are you kidding, girl?
Yeah, I'm sure, but I've got big plans for KOJA, and I've got the plan, and I've got the 3 months and the 6 months, and I know what I'm doing, so I've kind of got to stay true to that and know that I'm making the right decisions for my business. And, amazing opportunities come up, and export is one of the things that I hadn't planned for this year, but all of a sudden we're in meetings to export to Hong Kong, and, that might be going ahead even before Christmas. We might have product on a ship over, but...
Mate, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, listeners, I'm chatting with Kate Johansson, the founder of the breakfast and salad toppers company KOJA. Before Kate shares her Shark Tank experience, here's a word from two wonderful businesses that can lighten your marketing load. Support for this show comes from 99 Designs, where dozens of designers compete to deliver a fast, affordable design you'll love. Speaking of love, their big cheese, Patrick Llewellyn, recently compared 99 Designs to a dating site.
We really think of contests almost like the dating paradigm. You go to a nightclub, it's noisy, there's a lot of people to meet, you get to meet a lot of people, and if you're lucky, at the end of that process, you might meet someone, right? And then you go on and have dates. And so a contest is kind of like that paradigm. You put up your proposal, lots of designers submit their ideas, and then you start to whittle down to a few of the ones that really resonate with you. And then ultimately you pick one of them, and once you pick that one designer, the chances of you going on to work with that designer to get other things designed is actually very high.
99 Designs, where love is in the air. For a free $99 upgrade on your first design, visit 99designs.com/Timbo.
Get on Timbo's mailing list over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com.
Support for this show comes from Net Registry. Recently, I was Skyping it up with Verity Ma, their Chief Marketing Officer, when the line deteriorated. She thought it may be because she had loads of browsers open. At which point I'm like, why so many browsers?
Well, because websites appear differently on different browsers. So if I run multiple, then I can get a sense of how our websites are tracking across different browsers and customers' websites.
Net Registry, where attention to detail rules. Visit netregistry.com.au/Timbo for a website that works on, well, all browsers. Now, Kate.
Yeah.
6 months in, you're having a good time. Business is good. Everyone's ogling at your new little baby and it's beautiful and everything's going along swimmingly. I understand the next 6 months weren't so.
Yeah.
Leading into a Shark Tank experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think the second 6 months of running the business, or 6 or 12 months to be honest, were really, really hard for me. Being in food, it's about selling, something that you sell for around the $10 mark. And you've got to sell thousands, hundreds of thousands of them. And so I was selling, maybe hundreds. And
what's the margin on a $10 pack? Well, thereabouts. We talking 20% or?
Yeah, it depends. We sell through a couple of different avenues. So if we're selling wholesale or online, and at the time I was also selling direct at market. So across the 3 channels, we had an average gross margin of about 40%.
Yep.
But then,
so you're making $4 thereabouts a pack. You got to sell a lot of packs.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and is something, was that just a shock to you, or?
No, I knew that going in. But I think when you start a business, the first 6 months were filled with optimism, and you've got a good thing, and you're just excited about selling one pack, let alone thinking about, oh, hang on, we have to sell like 100,000 of these to even pay myself a minimum salary kind of thing. So I think at the 6 month point, that was when I reviewed all the numbers and, really had a bit of a reality check on.
Did you panic?
Where we were at. Panic isn't really the right word. It was more just like a really slow, dull feeling for a number of months there.
Yeah. Didn't lose the faith?
There were a lot of times where I questioned whether or not I would keep going with KOJA or whether it would be that fun project that I did for about a year.
How close did you get to kind of going, that footy club's looking good?
No, he would never have gone back there, but I did get a pretty amazing job offer about at the 12-month mark, and the salary was pretty nice, and it was working with a startup company that was doing amazing things, and the role was...
They still around?
Yeah, they're still around.
So, Kate, you've had a big offer from the biggest supermarket chain in Australia. You've had a wonderful offer from a startup offering you good money and a, mahogany corner office. Well, maybe not. Mahogany's so 80s, isn't it? Like, whatever they do these days. You're on a mission. Good on you. So you get 6 months. The second 6 months is tough. When did the Shark Tank opportunity come about?
That was really towards the end of that second 6 months. So it was about a year into the business.
Yep.
I got an email on, one of those newsletter things that we all sign up to, and it was talking about, are you looking for investment? And I was at the point with the business where I was like, cool, this has either got to grow like crazy or I'm going to throw in the towel and do something else. So I was really focused on growth. I knew that I didn't have the spare 100,000 or whatever that I needed to put into it to grow it. So I needed external investment. And this link came up. I didn't even know it was Shark Tank at the time. I was familiar with Dragon's Den from the UK and had always thought I'd love to go on a show like that. But I really just filled out like a 10-minute form online that said, tell us about your business, what kind of investment were you looking for, who are you? And forgot about it, to be honest. And
Next thing you know?
Yeah, 3 weeks later got a phone call saying, hi, can you come in for a casting? We want you to meet the producers. And I was like, yep, I can do that.
Okay.
So it was just, a really quick experience. I met the producers. I did a pitch. I was quite fortunate that the 2 producers that I met with, one of them was a woman in her early 30s and she was pregnant, and the other woman, I think, had young kids. So they were really very much my target market, KOJA. I think they could relate to me personally, but also understand that they would love to use the product. So I basically got a yes on the spot.
Nice.
So they said, you have to wait for the formal,
So you go on the show. From memory, you actually sold about 45% of the business to, what's the real estate guy's name? John
McGrath.
John McGrath. And then that didn't go ahead, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
So what was the big learning from being on Shark Tank?
Oh, there are so many learning experiences.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really good experience.
Many say it's not.
It depends. I think overall it was an excellent experience for me. It's definitely got a few downsides, but focusing on the positives first, as I usually do.
You're good like that.
The experience of preparing my business to go on the show, I knew that I had to know absolutely everything about the business in terms of where we were going, where we'd come from, all of our numbers, everything. So even just that, I think I only got 3 weeks' notice to go on the show, but those 3 weeks were very focused on getting to know everything about the business and all our goals and projections and all the numbers. So that was the first thing that I really enjoyed doing. Really enjoyed pitching on the day. It was lots of fun. A lot of people have said to me and still say to me, that must have been the scariest thing you've ever done. And I think because I was so prepared for it, I was able to. It was really nerve-wracking, but I knew that I believed in the business and I believed in myself. So I thought all I can do is get out there and tell the sharks what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and at the same time get the opportunity to talk to the whole of Australia whilst
Totally. And I imagine, and I've had previous Shark Tank, I was going to say victims, but guests on this show, and one of the things that for every single one of them has come out is the unexpected. So whether they did or didn't get investment from one of the sharks, they've exposed their brand to all these other people in Australia. Some who want to invest, some who may want to just provide an introduction, some, I call it the woo-woo factor, just wonderful things happen. What for you was the kind of amazing thing that happened outside of anything to do with the actual people on Shark Tank?
I completely underestimated the power of TV and the amount of people that were going to come to our website and want to buy KOJA after the show.
Love it.
So it's actually a really nice story. 6 months on, I'm looking back going, we've had that, startup moment where a few weeks before the show I'd put all my money into buying stock, and I had a living room full of, pre-packed boxes ready to go, and was sort of the night of the show really nervous, thinking, if I don't sell anything, how am I going to pay for all of this stock that I've bought and things like that. And I think it was about 8 minutes after the show aired that we had completely sold out of all of our stock.
Oh, Kate, how did that feel?
It was... There were a lot of tears, happy tears, but I was just completely overwhelmed with the response. We, sold so much in that first 24 hours online that it took me about 3 weeks of working around the clock to get all the orders out.
Did you then create a problem of a whole lot of pissed off prospects who couldn't buy? were you able to take back orders?
No, I think we handled it really well. And again, it comes back to my sort of business philosophy about just being open and honest and, letting customers know what's going on and letting them know, they've just seen me on national TV. They know that I'm not here to just take their money and run, even if they haven't got their order and they've been waiting for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So for me, it was about, we broke up the customers into, okay, who is going to get their order in the first week and letting them know what was going on, and then the second week and the third week, and sort of that first week sending them an email being like, cool, thank you so much for your order, it's coming. That middle group, letting them know that there's going to be a short delay, and then people in the last group, some people waited more than 3 weeks for their order. So it was about just communicating with them about what was going on. I actually hired in someone to sit at a desk with a phone and call everyone that had left their phone number on
brilliant.
their order, give them a personal phone call and just let them know what was going on. So there was like 2,000 calls to make, but I think just being really open about what was going on for us, and having a chat to a lot of people about what's going on after the show aired and things like that, we were able to turn it into a positive.
That's brilliant.
So,
good on you. I mean, communication's everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you've got nothing to tell them, ring them and tell them you've got nothing to tell them, but at least they know that you're on the radar. They're on your radar.
Yeah, definitely.
That is brilliant. What did it then do? So that's a peak in sales, clearly.
Yeah.
Have you been able to maintain that level, or obviously did it drop back a bit, but you grew nonetheless?
Yeah, definitely. We're at a completely new level post Shark Tank.
Quantify that. Like, what are we talking? Like 50% on pre-Shark Tank or 10%?
Monthly sales at the moment are about 4 times what we were doing before Shark Tank.
Oh, mate, that's the best email you ever wrote to get on a TV show.
Exactly.
What about just with your pricing model there? Well, 2 things. So many questions, Kate, so little time. And my Big Mac's getting cold, by the way. And you know what they're like when they're cold.
No, don't.
I'll send you a photo. Okay. You talked about all those orders through your online store. What about all the distributors out there around Australia, all the cool cafes that you are stocked in, health food shops? Mm-hmm. They've run out, I'm guessing, and you can't supply them?
There was a couple of weeks there. In Melbourne, I had a lot of suppliers that had been with me for a year. So the week before Shark Tank, actually probably the 2 months before, I was saying, we're going on Shark Tank, you need to make sure your shelves are full.
Top up.
Yeah.
Hey, see what I did there? Top up.
Top up, yeah.
Like dad joke.
Topper.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. Okay, so you gave them a bit of warning. You didn't get them offside, because that would be a bad thing.
Yeah, no. And they were also, just the same thing, just saying to them that week after Shark Tank, look, we know you're running low on the shelves and we're doing our best to get you stock, but it's going to be, there might be a few days with empty shelves.
Yeah, love it. Communication again. Just thinking about your pricing model or your business model, which is buy stock, buy it, have it delivered. Have you thought about a subscription model where you get those people? Imagine KOJA is something where you run out on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So have you thought about a kind of subscription model?
Yeah, we do offer that online. It's not something I promote heavily at the moment.
Why? It's guaranteed income.
It is guaranteed income, but at the moment our packs are bulk packs. So one box does last you a long time anyway. So, and as I'm sure a lot of your listeners know, the postage is very expensive. So I would prefer customers, which is what most of our customers do. We've studied the repeat buyers on our website quite a lot, and what most customers do is they'll buy 3 or 6 packs every 3 months. So, and that works really well for me, because I'm only sending postage once every 3 months. They're getting 6 packs, the products last really well. They can use it as they go, and when they run out, come onto the site and get more. We've got really loyal customers. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily about locking people into that subscription. I do offer it for some people, but it'll be on a monthly basis if I'm sending 2 or 3 packs every month. If you're just 1 or 2 people, it's difficult to eat that much KOJA.
Yeah, okay. All right. Gotcha. Hey, tell me another aspect of your marketing, which I know you're passionate about, is storytelling. Mm-hmm. How does that show itself?
I think you mentioned the video before, and that's something that I'd love to keep doing, but I feel like that video is really special for me. Even now, I made that video 6 or 8 months ago, and I still sometimes watch it, and, you know, it really inspires me, because even though the whole video is about me, but it just reminds me about, you know, what I'm doing with the business, and I want to be really honest about who I am. And, you know, at the moment we're in product development, and one of the main things that I believe that I do differently to other companies is I'm developing products based on what I'd want to eat. And, you know, that means using the best quality ingredients, which are always going to be more expensive. But, you know, just coming back to that video and, you know, who I am and what I'm trying to create with KOJA, it just gives me that reminder that
you know why because you share your why.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like in that video, and listeners, what we're talking about is a video that appears over at koja.com.au on the homepage. Kate is sharing her story about not what she does. Well, you touch on it, but you talk about why you do it, and it's from the heart. And it's like, and even if it's just for you, I mean, that's money well spent, I would have thought, because if it's there to remind you, that's your eye of the tiger moment. It's like, you know, like, I'm going to gym and I'm going to put that Rocky soundtrack on. Will you just play your video?
I do.
Hey guys, I thought I'd step out of that interview with Kate and actually play you the audio from Kate's video. So here it is.
I was working in the supplement industry, and I learnt a lot about the way that pills and supplements are made. And I started to think to myself, why are we having all these pills and supplements that are made in labs when the real thing literally grows on trees, and it's so much better for us anyway? My name's Kate Johansson, and I'm the founder of KOJA. KOJA is a range of breakfast toppers and salad toppers. They're all a mix of nuts, seeds and superfoods. Just add 2 tablespoons to the foods that you're already eating. So for breakfast, it might be yogurt, or the salad toppers just go on top of the salads that you're eating for lunch. From the very beginning, my mum's always been an inspiration for me. She's always been an advocate for natural health, being a yoga teacher and a massage therapist. I was brought up by my mum to always go for a more natural alternative. The first few months I'd been selling at farmers markets and direct to friends and family, and it had been quite good, but I think the feeling of getting my first stockist, that really felt like a turning point in the business. It was sort of like, okay, shit's getting real. I'd love to see KOJA stocked in health food stores and groceries all across Australia and even internationally. I'd just love to know that people are waking up and having KOJA for breakfast or adding it to their salads, and, you know, if I can make a product that makes eating healthier easy and, you know, quicker and more delicious and more interesting, then I'm happy with what I'm doing.
How good's that? Now, back to Kate.
And I get emotional even just thinking about it now. Like, I'm on that video with my mum cooking beautiful, fresh food, and I think that's something that everyone should have access to. If I could, you know, chop up fresh fruit and vegetables and sell it in a box, that's what I'd do. But, like, it's not very commercially viable unless you want to be a greengrocer. But just encouraging people to eat more vegetables and, you know, eat good food is what I'm all about. And that video really embodies that. And I think food is something that we all, you know, you've got your food memories from childhood. We've all got an emotional connection to food. We want to have food at every celebration, and it's just, for me, it comes
getting a
back
bit teary?
and home, and I am.
Teary? I haven't had anyone cry on the. I don't think I've had anyone cry on the show before. Just warn me.
First. If you keep talking about Big Macs, I'll probably...
They're not the right tears. They're not the tears I'm looking for. Tell me, just to finish off, Kate, loving the story of KOJA, you do talk about, you sort of touched on this notion that you are building a community. How are you doing that, or what are your intentions? Because right now, you've got a beautiful looking brand. There's an emotional attachment certainly around it. You've got a great story that you share on your video. You've got a bit of a blog happening. You've got some recipes that you're sharing. There's a bit of social media action. But is there an intention to kind of take that offline and maybe have KOJA gatherings around a big bonfire with teepees and stuff, or something like that?
I'll have to review the TP idea, but at the moment we're still very much based online. I believe that we can create a beautiful community online and include a much wider group of customers and supporters. It's more for me about creating more and more products. So knowing that if you go into your local independent supermarket or health food store, you might see KOJA in the breakfast aisle, but you'll also see it along with the salad dressings, and you'll see it in, the healthy snack section, and you might start to see it in the fridge and things like that. So knowing that we offer really good quality food, nutrient-dense food, if you're looking to eat a really nutrient-dense diet without any of the rubbish that's found in so many commercially made products, then turn to KOJA.
Love it.
And then in terms of online, I think more and more people need to know about their own health, and, if you've got a cold, what kind of, vitamin C, instead of going out and taking these pills that are...
She's on a mission now.
Oh, yellow.
You keep going. I'm just going to go and grab this big bag. It is completely deteriorated now, so
right. I'll keep going. But anyway, vitamin C, don't take ascorbic acid pills that go straight through you. Vitamin C is water soluble.
Oh, you're killing me. I grew up on ascorbic acid pills, or whatever they're called. Hey?
Eat it every day. Capsicum and kiwi fruit. And don't go and get the pills.
You're one of these people that thinks the stuff that grows on trees and out of the ground is all the good things for you.
One of these people.
Hey, Kate, love it. I love your journey. I love the brand. Early days, clearly. 2 years in, early days.
Yeah.
But it takes about 20 years to be an overnight success, right?
Definitely.
So I wish you all the best in the future, and maybe we can have you back on, in maybe 2 years' time, see how things are going. You better go and get that mail.
Deal.
What a lovely, lovely lady. What an inspired, positive lady is Kate Johansson. You can find out more about KOJA at koja.com.au and hit Kate up on Twitter at KOJA Health. Let her know you heard her on the show. After that interview finished, she said she had sore cheeks from laughing. Wasn't that funny, was I? I didn't think she found the Big Mac stuff that funny. Never mind. Hey, top 3. No, actually top 4. Let's go for top 4 marketing learnings from that fireside chat. Now, these are brought to you by the good folk at 99designs.com/Timbo, free $99 upgrade, and netregistry.com.au/Timbo, where you'll get some rather exclusive listener packages to get your online marketing sorted. Learning number 1, ensure you present your business as well as you can. And I'm talking logo, brochure, website, signage, uniform packaging. I've spoken about this before, and I will continue to speak about it. It's so important, hey? Make your business look good, all right? Sounds superficial, but it ain't. And use 99designs.com/Timbo to get that all sorted. It's not that hard, and it's not as expensive as you may think it is. Number 2, focus on all the positives that you have going on in your business. If you're doing it tough, there are positives to be gleaned somewhere, I promise. You might have to ask around, but look for the positive. Kate is very good at that. Number 3, pretend you're going on Shark Tank in 1 week's time. Little exercise for you. I reckon it's a great opportunity, and so does Kate, to gather up everything about your business. Your goals, your projections, your numbers, your pitch. Gather all that information into one document, because then you've got it, right? And that's a good thing to have, maybe for one day when you sell the business or want to bring a partner in or want to franchise it. I don't know. But it's a good idea. And to put the acid on you, pretend you're going on Shark Tank in a week. Learning number 4, keep your client communication channels open. Love that one. You know, when Kate was out of stock after appearing on Shark Tank, what'd she do? She employed someone to get on the phone and ring clients. It's genius. What did you learn from that fireside chat with Kate Johansson of KOJA? I'd love to know. So would Kate. Go over to the show notes, smallbusinessbigmarketing.com, look for episode 286 and leave your thoughts. Kate and I will respond to them all. Righto, time for a listener question. And it comes from, who we got here? Andy from Ace Kids. Andy left a wonderful review on the iTunes store for the show and put a question in it. So here it is. He says, hey, konnichiwa, Timbo. I'm a big fan of the podcast. Thanks, Andy. I've been listening to it since the start of the year. I'm slowly making my way through the massive back catalogue. Yeah, you got a long way to go, mate, as well as keeping up with recent releases. One thing that has surprised me is that I keep getting something out of each and every episode, even the ones that I initially think will have nothing for me. Interesting point. Sometimes, Andy, when I do a show and I'm thinking, this is such a specific topic and it won't relate to every business. It does. You know, you've got to open your mind and every episode think, how can I apply this learning in my business? You'll be surprised that you will actually be able to. He goes on, a couple of particular favourites, David Warren, and anything, which is the outsourcing episode, and anything you do regarding content and social media. It's made me change the way that I'm going to market my business, as well as given me ideas on future projects. A quick question for you. I own and run a small English language school in Japan called Ace Kids. Many of the tips you give about writing good content revolve around using your own voice and personality. Yes, very true. People buy from people. Obviously, this would be lost on my target market as they don't have the English language skills to get the nuances. Also, my Japanese isn't good enough to make an impact on their native tongue. Okay. Aside from getting my words translated and hoping for the best, do you have any other suggestions for providing content to potential customers? Cheers, Andy. Andy, I do, mate. I've got 3 ideas for you. Number 1, employ a spokesperson. Maybe one of your staff, one of your students, or maybe one of the parents of one of your students, hey? And have them do the talking. Number 2, maybe create content in your own voice and tone, but apologise up front for any slight disconnect. I'm not sure how that'll go in Japan. Have they got that sense of humour? Don't know. But you can always do that, all right? Nothing's perfect. People are forgiving, except customers. No, they can be forgiving. Try that. Number 3, go ahead and create the content, but have it filtered through a Japanese editor. Okay, so there's 3 options. All is not lost. But what I do suggest, Andy, is whatever you do, don't let this little blockage stop you from creating helpful marketing content, all right? You got to do it. The thought is good. You will find a way. Try those 3 ideas that I've given you. Test them and choose the one that gives you the best result. Thanks for the question, Andy. Good luck. Hey, listeners, head over to iTunes, leave a listener review and leave a marketing question there with your website. Andy didn't leave his website. Leave your website. I'll give you some promotion and I'll answer your question. Hey, that's a good idea. Head over to iTunes. Or if you want to answer quicker from me, join the forum over at crankmymarketing.com. Robert Frost once said, by working faithfully 8 hours a day, you may eventually get to be boss and work 12 hours a day. Or you could start a business you love and work will become a hobby. Little secret between you and I, guys. I added that last bit about work becoming a hobby, but I thought it was a nice kind of, improvement on old Frosty's quote. Don't know who Frosty is, by the way, but anyway, Love those quotes. Hope you're getting something from them. I think I might put a book together one day of all the inspirational quotes I share on each episode. Hey, we're nearly at the end. Plenty of marketing gold coming your way in the weeks and months ahead. Next episode, I have a chat with a fellow by the name of Heatlhy. He is a good bloke. He also pulled himself out of bankruptcy by selling DVDs on eBay many years ago, and now he runs the biggest e-commerce conference in Australia. 10 years of it he's been doing it, and he's about to take it. He's taken it to Las Vegas as well. Brilliant, brilliant story. If you need any marketing touch point designed, anything, head over to 99designs.com/Timbo for your $99 free design upgrade to get more designers responding to your brief. It's a good idea. Did you listen to what Kate said? And be sure to use NetRegistry to get all your online marketing sorted over at netregistry.com.au/Timbo. They've got a ripper SEO package, search engine optimization. Audio production for this show is done by the very sublime Daryl Misson. Thanks, Delirious. And the music bed, that's written, produced, sung by Rock God, Rock Impresario, Lockie Doley. Thanks, Lock. If you want to surround yourself with other motivated business owners, then join the Small Business Big Marketing Forum. It's ACE. We talk marketing. We push each other to grow our businesses. It's $69 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee in the first month. Hey, why wouldn't you? Crankmymarketing.com. And if you need a speaker for an upcoming event, I'm all yours. Tim Reid, reid.com.au. Until next week, I am Timbo Reid. You're not. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.